Hello, I realized that putting together this project 4 was a little bit confusing, so I'm making a video to just clear everything out with some commands you can use to get the process done without confusion. So you'll notice that the first thing I do is actually just log into a default Linux kernel. We found that using just any other, custom kernel that we made previously would break the code. So please make sure to do that when you log in. Nothing will work from there if you don't. Okay. So for most of this video, I'm actually just going to be using the SSH because I find that a little bit easier. But obviously, you can do whatever you'd like. It works no matter how or what way you put these commands together. So we'll be going into user, src. We'll just be locating, where the code is, which is in our project 4 folder. Obviously, this is in our project 3. It may be confusing to find, but it's dubbed project 4, and this is where everything is located. Most importantly, this is where our video commands is what I dubbed. This is where everything is, and I've made it so you can copy and paste these commands. So it's super simple for you to get everything working, and you don't have to go through the README to figure it out. All of our code is actually located inside of our kernel space. So you can see there's 3 make files here, which is part of the reason I'm making this video, because I think it's just a little too complex to just get it done. So we'll be working through the SSH, obviously, for most of this. So first thing we do, and this will be the only thing we don't do in our SSH, is we're going to edit our fuse.config file. This is super important. Our code, once again, won't work without this, and it will also be the only thing we do inside of our virtual machine. So we'll just open up the terminal here, and we'll paste it in. If you are just typing this in manually yourself, please don't forget the sudo. The file only has read privileges otherwise, so yeah, it's important. Make sure you have it. So the most important line, and the only one we're touching, is this right here, our user allow other. It may be commented or it may not exist for you. Depending on that, just make sure that it's here, uncommented, or added. Once again, our code will not work. Our flip open function, which is the most important, will not work without this. So please make sure this is here. Okay, and that's all we actually have to do in our SSH. Continuing forward, it's actually just copying and pasting these commands to test it. The first thing I like to do is make the image in the kernel object. For me, I found that this made sure it would work. Most of the order doesn't really matter, except for this kernel object. I found that making it at the very end would, for some reason, make it so I couldn't echo in any files. It would just say I have no space left. So really do whatever you'd like, but make sure you get this kernel object made, early on. The rest is just, preparing to mount our file system. Obviously, we need to make sure the location is there, and then this is really just the same things we did for the previous project in the make file that was given to us. So yeah, it's pretty straightforward. All you need to do is copy and paste in these commands. Pardon me. Yeah, now we'll actually just mount the file. Once again, it's as simple as copy and pasting it. Mount the file system. And from this point onwards, I'll just make a note that we're using test file. That's like the file we're making and we'll be reading. So it's important. Obviously, if you're doing it yourself, and you can change the name to whatever you'd like. That's just what we decided to use. So now we've created the file with echo, just with our write command, because it's not already there. And then we want to actually insert the kernel module, which will work with no problems. I've done this 1,000 times, I've tested this 1,000 times. I'm 100% sure that it's going to work. Yeah, now we, to check if it's actually there, we just do our cat in through the dev folder. It's what we were told to do, so that's how it works. And yeah, just a quick little test. Obviously, we're using dmessage to see if everything worked. And as you can see, we initialized the kernel module, we loaded it, and then we read in the 18 bytes from our test file, which just says some test content. Okay, that's mainly everything. Obviously, Now there's just removing the kernel and then unmounting the file system. It's pretty straightforward. Once again, you're just copying and pasting what's already here. I like to do it in the kernel, removing the kernel and then unmounting, but I don't think the order actually matters. So you can do whatever you'd like. But yeah, that's actually all the testing really that we need done. If you're interested, we can once again run that sudo dmessage tail just to see what happened as we closed it. As you can see it exiting and cleaning up, and then cleanup complete. And if you'd like to restart from scratch, I've just set that up as well because I think you guys will be testing other cases, and it helped me a lot if I was debugging. God forbid that you guys have to debug, because hopefully everything just works straight away. But yeah, as you can see, there's some garbage files remaining, so I'll just make clean. We'll get rid of most of them, but there'll be 3 remaining, as you can see here. So we'll just remove those manually, which is no problem. Clear, so it's easier to see. Now, if we ls, obviously, it's just our core files, our 3 make files, and then our actual code. So that's it. I hope this video helped marking. I thought the read file, ironically, that I wrote wasn't that strong, or the readme that I wrote wasn't that strong, and I wanted something else to make the grading process easier and faster so you wouldn't have to contact us as well. So yeah, here it is. This took us a while to make, so if you do have any problems, let us know. We'll answer them. I can assure you that this code works because I've been staring at this screen for like 100 hours straight. Not actually, but that's the gist of it. Thank you for following along. Have a good rest of your day.